Hey guys, it's Jim Halchman from TV Guide Magazine and TVinsider.com. I'm here with the star of In the Dark, CW. Hi, Perry.
Hi, Jim.
Nice to see you. How are you holding up? Let me ask you that first. That's the most important thing through all this craziness we're going through.
Um, I have this sense of guilt in a way. I feel like I wish I could be doing, some more physical. I wish I could be more physically involved, but
Yeah.
I am very, very grateful that we were able to finish our season. I mean,
Yeah.
we wrapped end of January, so kind of right before this all started snowballing.
Okay.
That's also part of why we were able to bump up our premiere, was because we were like, we're done, we
Yeah.
finished, let's give it to them.
Exactly. People
So
are looking for things.
I'm feeling,
Yeah.
yeah, very grateful about that.
And people are looking for things to watch, especially things that
I
either
hope
take our
so.
mind off things or
Mhm.
things that make us laugh. So before we ask about the new season of In the Dark, what are you watching right now? What's kind of your comfort TV go-tos in this time?
Well, I was a little behind, so I'm binging Ozark,
Good,
which I'm
good.
so enjoying. And funny enough, I didn't really realize it was about money laundering. And I'm like, this is very familiar.
Yes.
I've seen this before. Oh, In the Dark was also about money laundering.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited that coming off of this Ozark hype of season 3, that In the Dark is, if that's what people like, I love the idea that we're going into something similar.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect segue because that
Yeah.
is a big part of season two. And,
Mhm.
I naively went into the new season thinking like, oh, everything will kind of settle down and things will be calm and everybody's happy.
Oh,
That's not what this show
God,
is.
no. No, 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 no.
So this will run after that first episode airs, so we can talk about
Okay.
what happens in the first episode.
Mhm.
I don't. What's her biggest threat this season? Because there are threats all around Murphy. I mean, you don't know who to trust, who's good, who's
Yeah.
bad. But what would you say is her biggest threat after this first episode and moving forward into the season?
I remember, our other producer, Brian Danley, who directs as well. He's with us through every single episode. He's the most dedicated producer I've ever worked with. But, he would always say before we'd go into a scene, he'd say, okay, remember the stakes. I'm like, wait, there's no more stakes. The stakes are so high. Like, we'd go in and he'd be like, okay, just keep those stakes up. There's nowhere to go. Okay, Brian, I don't have it. There's no headroom. We've already, you know what I mean? And every episode, it's like, I'd be talking with Brooke and Morgan, who are my two best friends in real life, and we'd be going through this scene, and we'd be like, how do we not just yell through this whole scene? Because if this was, if Perry was really in this, I'd be losing. Like, how do you not just, how do we ground this scene without just screaming the whole time?
Yeah,
So
I.
it was very interesting to find, but I guess if these stakes become your new normal, maybe that's where you find those, the ebbs and flows of it. Maybe that's where you find the little nuances of it.
But Dean, it's so funny because we kind of want to hate Dean 100%, but then we see his daughter, and he's actually really tender and nice with his daughter, and his daughter has a nice connection with Murphy. So
Mm-hmm.
is Dean as big of a threat as we think, or is he just kind of two sides of the same or different coin? I guess he's good and bad, or how should we see Dean moving forward in the season?
He definitely is our villain through and through.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Although he loves Chloe more than anything,
Yeah.
and you never ever ever doubt that. And the finale of season 2, if I mean, I didn't think you could get crazier than the finale of season 1, but the finale of season 2, I think, um, I don't know, you root for Dean because I feel like you feel like he's so helpless. I mean, he's this villain, and you hate him, but yet again, his love for his daughter and everything he does is for her.
Yeah.
So he and Murphy are similar in ways that they're loyal to a fault.
Okay.
Mm.
And since people have watched the first episode, next week is a big one because, and I don't think it's a spoiler, we have the return of Max, which is great because I love Casey. He's great on the show. But
Mm-hmm.
you guys have such a spark. But of course, there's also danger involved there because he's kind of on the run. He really shouldn't be there. And probably not really the best person for Murphy to spend time with, but the heart wants what it wants. So can you preview
Always, you
next?
always want what you can't have.
So how would you preview next week's episode when people can see Max and Murphy back together?
It's kind of Max and Murphy till the end. Murphy's relationship with Jess is also interesting this season too, because we really kind of tear that friendship apart just to see how strong it is. I think a lot of season 1 was Jess kind of coddling Murphy and this angel and devil, kind of thing. And I love when I hear people say, I wish I had a Jess, or everyone needs a friend like Jess. It's true. She's the best.
She's great. Last question, then I'll let you go. Does Pretzel get a love interest this season? Because I feel like Pretzel needs a little loving too. I mean, yes, no?
Morgan and I, a lot of season 2 actually is Felix and Murphy, which provides a ton of the comedy this season. It's just the two of us it's just like these two clowns, these two, extreme versions of ridiculous people. But he and I always talk about, what would be Pretzel's type, like, because Pretzel has an Instagram, obviously, that's
of course
extremely successful, but we're always like, what if Pretzel just posted like woman crush Wednesday or something? It's like a poodle, or I don't know. But that dog is so special to me, and that is one of the best parts of In the Dark, is having the most loving. Pretzel actually burps often in the middle of scenes. We'll be doing these very intense, scenes.
Where can people see In the Dark?
In the Dark is at 9 p.m. on the CW. It'll be every Thursday night at 9 p.m. until July, and then it will go on Netflix. People to binge, which I don't know. I'm interested to see if people can wait till then, because after season 1 on Netflix, I think everyone needs to know what happens.